everyone, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed. I am your host Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. And remember, we always say, like any other night, share our live stream on Facebook. It's Real Talk with Saieed Ali on Facebook. On YouTube, it's TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. So viewers, share our pages, share our social media platform, that others may know about Real Talk with Saieed. For those of you who haven't known about it as yet, they will know about it. So even though that they are on the go, they will still be able to watch it on your phone, on your tablet, on a computer, even at work. You can't miss it out. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, a little update for you. A daily check in system and increased patrol in and around the Pinto Road, Arima community is the latest security implementation by the TTPS. It comes as police investigate an incident at the Santa Rosa Government Primary Schools 2 weeks ago. According to reports, an intruder had gained access to the compound via a hole in the perimeter fence. A senior police officer said these measures have been adjusted to ensure the safety of the staff and students. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education confirmed it had undertaken a comprehensive review of the school's infrastructure and existing security policies. So we want to thank the Ministry of Education, we want to thank the TTPS for what they are going to do to the Santa Rosa school. I mean, it was the PNM. It was the PNM, give jacket. That would have been a normal fly-by-night sweeping under the carpet and dies it. Like any other school bullying incidents or fight that taking place. Let me tell you something. I've been on the air for 8 years, going to 9, and I could tell you what they do from what they didn't do. And an incident like this, it would have been swept under the carpet like if nothing happened. As if nothing happened. But what Gatsby Dolly failed to realize, when she was the Minister of Education, she failed to realize she was once a girl child going to a primary school or a secondary school. But then again, what about if she never went to school too? You never know. But nevertheless, it's good to see the Ministry of Education is seeking an input into what took place into the Santa Rosa school. So as we move on with another update, on Monday, a 21-year-old security guard appeared before a master of the High Court charged with the murder of Savannah Dyer, which occurred on June 14, 2025. The sufficiency and hearing date has been set for February 2nd, 2026. Kiba Wells, my mistake, of East Dry River, Port of Spain, was charged with the offense on June 21st, 2025, after the 20-year-old victim, a clerk of River Estate Road, Diego Martin, was found dead along Carlson Field Road in Freeport on Saturday, 14 June 2025. One male suspect was arrested on June 17, 2025 in connection with the matter. Savannah Dyer funeral is expected to take place on Friday, the 27th of June, 2025. Kiba Wells. So let's just hope we pronounce the name correctly, viewers. So, into current affairs, Trinidad and Tobago, you know we love that. The Finance Supplementary Appropriation, the financial year 2025 bill was passed in Parliament on Monday, 23rd of June, 2025. The Minister of Finance, Devendranath Thakur, outlined the government purpose behind the new bills. Listen to this.
We are here today to supplement the 2025 fiscal package supplement because the members opposite made commitments, hired people, took loans, and did not provide for it.
After the second reading of the bill, the opposition protested and a division was taken. That is a formal, recorded vote to indicate the choice of each parliamentarian members. All government members agreed. All members of the opposition abstained, and the Speaker of the House, Jagdev Singh, read the result.
Mr. Padarath?
Yes.
Mrs. Prasad Bisasa?
Yes.
Mr. Tanku?
Absolutely yes.
The results are 28 in favor of the bill, 0 against, and 12 abstentions. The bill is passed.
So, Trinidad and Tobago, that bill has been passed. We'll give you more as we get more. Don't worry, I keep you up to date on everything that is taking place in the parliament and in both parties. You just hear it from side and you just hear it live. So feel free to call in, viewers, 238-6716 to voice your concerns and your opinion. Remember, this program is going live Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. every night. Minister of Homeland Security, Roger Alexander, has hit back at his predecessor, an MP for Lopino Aruca, Marvin Gonzalez, for calling him Duncy, urging youngsters not to give up if they are being mocked for struggling with something new. Gonzalez, at a meeting in Tobago, made fun at Alexander for struggling to deliver his address in Parliament, saying it was hard for many to listen to. Gonzalez even said that Alexander's reading skills were an embarrassment to the country's first Prime Minister, Dr. Eric Williams. Listen to this.
Can't read. As a matter of fact, somebody messaged me in the parliament yesterday and they say like every word has a full stop after it. You cannot even read a prepared text for you. Oh God, well get up early in the morning and read it over and over and over and over again. Stop embarrassing us. Dr. Eric Williams died for that. Nayan Gasby Dolly did not go into political this battle for that. PNM education, where we put and invested billions of dollars to produce someone like Roger Alexander.
Now, I will tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. Marvin Gonzalez hit Alexander for probably reading, not pronouncing, or the way he performed in Parliament. But he said, Dr. Eric Williams wouldn't love it. So I want to ask Marvin Gonzalez, right? If Eric Williams would have loved Marvin Gonzalez telling Trinidad and Tobago to carry out your children not 4 and 5 times for the month, but once for the month. I wonder if Dr. Eric Williams would have approved Marvin Gonzalez telling the citizens to carry out their children 1 time for the month while he gets a 40% increase in salary. So I wonder if Dr. Eric Williams would approve to that. I wonder if Dr. Eric Williams would have proved to Marvin Gonzalez being the Minister of Public Utilities and T&Tech owing. No, not T&Tech. WASA owing T&Tech. The government offices owing T&Tech. I wonder if Dr. Eric Williams would have proof of that. So by Marvin Gonzalez making those statements, Marvin Gonzalez excuse me, Marvin Gonzalez, you know what he did automatically? You put down the Down syndrome individual who had a vision. You put down the handicapped children who have a vision. You put down somebody with one hand and one foot who have a vision. You put down the blind citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, telling them they cannot do nothing. You put down the children that cannot speak properly and wants to work in a minister office. Marvin Gonzalez, you shattered their dreams by being a minister in the parliament, making such a statement. So I now could tell you, Marvin Gonzalez, who is a lawyer, who is a member of parliament, you understand? You have put down citizens of Trinidad and Tobago because they cannot speak properly or because they're invalid. You have done more than Alexander done. So I am asking you tonight now, Marvin Gonzalez, would Dr. Eric William approve you to be in parliament making such a statement? Huh? So who is more Duncy head now? This is my question to you now. Who is more Duncy head? What about Shamfa? A big minister. A big minister in the PNM administration didn't even know how to switch off data. How many people gone up to? 60,000. Marvin, what you had to say about Shamfa? Say something now. She don't see. Marvin, are listening? Is Shamfa don't see? Because she couldn't take off the data and taxpayers had to pay 60,000 because she's not educated. She's not educated in taking off data when she's going outside Trinidad. Let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. One thing with Saieed. Don't expect me to talk like a white man or an Englishman. You know why? I was born and bred in Trinidad and Tobago. Marvin Gonzalez. Did anybody elect Marvin Gonzalez or was he appointed there? So Marvin Gonzalez, because now lack of whatting, lack of leadership, lack of work being done, you move from the right side of the parliament and the people of Trinidad and Tobago, Marvin Gonzalez, placed you on the left side of parliament. For what? Non-performance. So where is Roger Alexander? On the right side. Serving the people, while you, Marvin, you are on the left side, always opposing. Who put you there, Marvin? The citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. I want you to understand that. And I know let me tell you something. Me, I have no cover for my mouth, you know. I am a Trinidadian, just like Marvin. Marvin is travel, I just travel. Marvin have business, I have business. Marvin talking in English, I talk in 6 different languages. So I wonder who don't see here now. I wonder who don't see. If Marvin telling Alexander he don't see, and Alexander become the superintendent of police, and it's the same police and them that protected Marvin. So I can't see how Marvin could tell Alexander he don't see. Well, then you telling all the children and them who cannot perform properly that they cannot be something in society. So I wonder if Dr. Eric William now would have approved Marvin Gonzalez being in the PNM putting down people. But then when I think back, I realized Dr. Keith Rowley was their leader. Marvin Gonzalez saying, tighten your belt. Carry out your children 1 time for the month. He's a smart man. He get 40% increase in salary and the people throw him on the left-hand side. So Marvin, hear what? When you're making statements like those, I want you to remember who put you where you are. People in your own community, the Down syndromes and the children who is handicapped, they may be watching at you and probably saying, Lord, I want you to take this man from here. Hear how we bad talking people like we. That could be the prayer of many children in Trinidad and Tobago. To have a minister who bawling, we here to serve the people, and making those kind of statements about somebody who once protected Trinidad and Tobago as a police officer. It's stinking shame to know you as a police too. That's the sad part about it. They just forget where I come from. Me, I just tell any one of them, come after me anytime. Because I will put you in your place. I will put you in your place. And if something touch you on my shoulder and say, Saieed, Marvin coming for you, trust me, you end up in an accident. Yeah? You feel like free? Boy. Let me tell you something. They made an attempt to kidnap my son about 4 years back. 3 blind and 1 dead, you know. All of this hear me condemning citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. No, I don't do that. I do. Marvin is just a politician and a lawyer. Just a politician. Everybody know what politicians is do. And everybody know how lawyers tongue this twist. Everybody know that. But do you have a reputation around the world? No, you don't have that. Marvin wants to condemn Alexander, but Marvin only talking English. One language. One language. You want to condemn a man? A man who become the superintendent of police for Trinidad and Tobago? While he was a police and where leave for? You should have stayed in the force. I just like to hear these politicians and them, and I just love to put them in their place. And I just tell them point blank, come at me anytime already. All I have clothes, I have clothes. All I have money, I have money. All I can travel, I can travel. All I have nice house, I have nice house. All I have status, I have status. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, I just wanted to put him in a place. However, viewers, in Parliament yesterday, Alexander hit back at Marvin's comments. And his colleagues trumped their deaths in agreement. Alexander said, Dunsiness is calling early election and getting licks. And Dunsiness is shutting down the Petrotrin refinery. Listen to this.
To me, Dunsi is knowing that rain is about to fall in June and you fail to clean the waterways and cause the place to flood. Dunsi is when you know you're in charge of WASA and you want to know why the water pressure so low. You didn't check the leaks. That is Dunsi. And Mr. Speaker, Dunsi, to me, is the complete neglect of citizens to tell them they have to tighten their belts. And then you give them 4% and you take over 40%. Dunsi to me is when you shut down the refinery in Petrotrin instead of trying to implement initiatives to cut costs and to increase productivity and efficiency. That is something. And for my Prime Minister, I would want my Prime Minister to explain this Dunsiness to me. Dunsiness is calling early election and getting leaks 26.
Hey, Trinidad and Tobago, the Parliament doesn't be easy, you know. But nevertheless, there is debate in the Parliament, the well-being of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Now, listen to this. Alexander also recalled Gonzalez's time as a police officer saying he was called just wouldn't. Listen to this.
We used to call him just wouldn't. My good friend behaved. We remember him back in the day. He just wouldn't come to work. He just wouldn't take a report.
Mr. Speaker.
Member for Tunapuna, there's no need to go there.
So imagine this, Marvin wants to compete with Alexander. That's parliamentarian. I just bring the news to you. But for Marvin to use statement like that, being a minister, knowing that children watching you, knowing that citizens of Trinidad and Tobago looking at you as a minister, knowing people in other countries listening to the ministers in Trinidad and Tobago, which bringing out words like such as condemning these things. No, but you can't even be a puppet on a string. It's sad. It's stinking sad. So now we have ministers in Trinidad and Tobago getting on like how them getting on. It's sad. It's really sad. Call a good night.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Said. Great show, man. Good night to you. Good night to your workers, and good night to Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you, my friend.
Mr. Marvin. Mr. Said. Mr. Marvin is now tackling the right man, you know. Let me tell you something. Marvin don't know nothing about that fella. Right? The country know about that fella. Marvin have to understand that them people in Lopino cannot save he from Mr. Roger Alexander. He have to know that. And let me tell you something about this PNM party. They have never agreed to nothing that takes place in Trinidad and Tobago. Everything is about themselves. What took place on the 20th of April is that the PNM party got killed by the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And they're not keeping a little wake, and they're not keeping a little funeral, and done away with our party. And that's what they had to do. Because there is no way in this life in Trinidad and Tobago that PNM is going to get back in power in Trinidad and Tobago. No way, no how.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Now, Trinidad and Tobago. After being allowed to continue, Alexander took the time to use himself as an example, saying he wished the children in the chamber were still present to hear his encouragement for themselves. Listen to this.
I just want to say, and I wish that the children were still sitting there today. I just want to tell them that to all boys and girls of this nation, whenever or if ever you struggle or is struggling with a situation, whether it's for studies, a new subject, or a new position, and you're being commented on and laughed at, don't give up. Keep going. Gain confidence in yourself and achieve your goal.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, for those of you who do not understand this, listen to what Marvin Gonzalez had to tell Roger Alexander in a meeting.
Look at who is your Minister of National Security. Carried. As a matter of fact, somebody messaged me in the parliament yesterday and they say like every word has a full stop after it. You cannot even read a prepared text for you. Oh God, well get up early in the morning and read it over and over and over and over again. Stop embarrassing us. Dr. Eric Williams ain't died for that. Nyan Gasby Dolly did not go into political this battle for that. PNM education, where we put and invested billions of dollars to produce someone like Roger Alexander.
Okay, Marvin. Billions of dollars invested to put somebody like you who condemn people who cannot speak properly. Billions of dollars invested to put you there to tell citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to carry out their children one time for the month while you get an increase. Billions of dollars invested while the PNM administration telling the citizens 4% or nothing while they get 40%. You think Dr. Eric William would have approved of that? Ask yourself that, Marvin. Ask yourself that. Trinidad and Tobago, we are going for a short commercial break. When we come back from that break, You're going to hear Alexander concerning school children after this. You have a call? Call a good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed. Great program as usual.
Thank you.
And I am telling you, and we said it on your program years ago, this country, that organization, the Red Dangerous Mafia organization, destroyed this country so badly it will take us years to even get 1% going forward. But anyway, when you have people like Anisette is saying now that he disappointed with the ethnic composition on boards. This is amazing. What? He didn't know that for the last 10 years. Not an Indian on any board. So he's coming here to tell the citizen of this country that and the government that. And he said, where you living, boy? You is the president of the Port of Spain port, 0% Indian, boy. The state agency, Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, 1% Indian. A police service, 5% Indian. WASA, 2% Indian. And he said, you don't know that? So long you live in this country and you didn't have problem with that? But this race, discrimination based on race is in people like you, bloodstream, and that must fix. And he said, come better than this. You're the old man, and you know what the citizen is saying about you? You're not of sound mind. And I hope this government, the health minister, will send you to sentence for some psychiatric evaluation for you making this kind of statement. And he said, come on, wake up and do better than that. The citizen looking at you. Thank you, Mr. Saeed. You keep up the great work you are doing. God bless you and your staff.
Thank you, my friend. Go for this break. I just want to say this before we go for this break. If how should I call Marvin Gonzalez? Tell me Trinidad and Tobago. Marvin Gonzalez is just a minister. Just a minister, one title, and that is it. One title. You're there for 5 years because of a minister put you there, and after that the people vote out the party, and that is it. He gone. He gone. In 5 years, you build a character and you break it down. Now, you are the minister of WASA before, and 1.4 million people couldn't get 24-hour water supply. How you call that? How should I call Marvin Gonzalez? I have 2 financial institutions running, 2, plus I have other business. I speak in 6 different languages: English, Sanskrit, Hebrew, Greek, dialect Spanish, and Urdu. How should I call Marvin Gonzalez, who only speaks in English and cannot understand nothing other than English? How should I call Marvin Gonzalez? Trying to make a tell me. How should I call Marvin Gonzalez? Could Marvin step in my shoes? No, you can't. Why? Because you're not educated enough. Allah, come now, man. Come now, man. 2 financial institutions running. Reckon service, security, intelligence. All Marvin has is what thing? Tongue had a twist in court when a court matter. Where he was? A police before. You could step in my shoes. But you call it a man who reached the superintendent level of TTPS in Trinidad and Tobago. And you want to condemn a speech pattern? While you telling the citizens to carry out their children 1 time for the month, and you get an increase? Marvin, let me tell you something. Your words will have a repercussion on you, not me. You, not me. Because what I do and you can't do. You had the education, I must say. I could have been a minister, I could have been a lawyer, I could have been in the police service. But that's not my field. That's not my field. I'm more educated than that. So Trinidad and Tobago, we are going for a short commercial break, and when we come back, Alexander, school children getting high on meth when we return.
We'll be right back. life throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, remember, Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on fixed deposit. It's not going to be all wrong for much longer, but nevertheless, I am encouraging you viewers, those of you who want to make investment, remember, this is the only financial company in Trinidad and Tobago that is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit with your interest up front. Remember, no other financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago is giving you that. You're only getting it at Real Talk. Only on Real Talk. You see, I know what I am doing. Others cannot do what we are doing. 5 years back, we didn't have AI. 6 years up the road, AI introduced to the world. Nobody didn't know about it, but it is there and it is going forward. So the same thing with us. Real Talk Financing, the man behind it is our brains man. Is our brains man, a man who knows about business, local, regional, and international. You understand? So when I tell you you're getting 5% with your interest up front, nobody else can beat it. Nobody else. Because number one, I did my survey. Number two, my company is solid. It's financial institution, Real Talk Financing. Plus, we have Real Talk Credit Union. So we solid in Trinidad and Tobago. We have business in Guyana and expanding. So you think I hereby guess? No, I am not hereby guess. I am not Duncy. I am not Duncy. 30 years in the finance industry, Trinidad and Tobago. 30 years. That's why I could tell you, Real Talk Financing is giving you 5% interest on our fixed deposit. And the good thing about it is that you're getting your interest up front. Up front. But nevertheless, we want to share with these ads. Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander has risen an alarm over a report of school children using the illegal drug meth at school. Alexander, however, assured that his ministry will address the issue, noting that they intend to tackle not only the symptoms but also the root cause. Listen to this.
The school children of today, they have gained some information from the network, the social media network, where they are putting meth into a balloon, filling the balloon with helium gas, putting it in their mouth like this, and sucking it in. It gives you an instant attack. So you see some of the behaviors that you're seeing. We intend not to treat just only with that. We are not about the symptoms, Mr. Speaker. We want to treat with the causes. So we intend to tackle that at a different level.
Caller, good night.
Yes, good night, Mr. Said.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Caller from Shagonas, just 2 quick points. I don't know if you remember the Muppet Show. There was a puppet character called Gonzo.
Yes, yes.
Right. If you look at Gonzo
the Muppet Show,
Gonzales, they have a close resemblance. And that puppet was a bit of an airhead. So maybe he can stick the name Gonzo. Then the other point I wanted to raise is I don't know if you can get any information with respect to the 10% online tax.
I was talking to somebody about that yesterday. So I want to get more information on it first before I release anything, because the PNM had introduced a 10%.
Okay. Thanks so much and wonderful program. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. So I'll get some more info on it, and I will talk to probably Minister of Finance and find out what they plan to do, if to revoke the 10% from the online shopping or they will leave it there. But one thing I want, and I will press forward with this, is the removal of the demerit point system. It is not doing any good to Trinidad and Tobago. It is not doing any good. It is not helping with the accident. It is not helping with crazy driving. It is not. What it is doing presently, it is filling an entity pocket with money. That is number one. And number two, the citizens is being penalized. You stop, police officer stop you, you get a ticket for 500 because your tail light blow, and 3 demerit points or 6 demerit points. So on top of this now, I paid my penalty and still ending up with demerit points. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, Kamala said to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago citizens that they are going to abolish the system. And the citizens of this country voted on what she said. So I want her and the Minister of Works and Transport to understand what they told the public. I just want them to understand that, because I will push faith and I will show you examples. Because Kamala said there is no evidence that it helped Trinidad and Tobago. There is none. Now, back to Alexander. Turning his attention to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, that is TTPS, Alexander said he inherited a rental debit of over $12 million approved by a previous Ministry of National Security. He said the TTPS continued to use that provided without payment, and the government now has to find the funds to settle the debit, as the vehicles are essential to police operation. The minister also announced that he was able to secure body cameras at a significant lower cost. Listen to this.
Body cameras for police officer in the sum of $25 million. But what they forgot, I was an investigator. So I investigated the supplier. And now, the same amount of body cams, the same type of body cams would have arrived here in this country for $15 million. So if my good friends on the other side want to know where the money gone, or where the money was going, where was that $10 million going?
So I want Marvin to investigate that. Marvin, I need you to call now the former Minister of Security. That's what I need you to do. Show Trinidad and Tobago that you are an intelligent man instead of condemning someone's speech. $10 million. Where was this extra $10 million going? Could the former Minister of National Security come out and say something? Could Marvin Gonzalez, who was the Minister of Public Utilities, say something? You know, but it's sad, you know, being the Minister of Public Utilities and WASA ONT and Tech. It's sad, you know, being the Minister of Public Utilities and the government office ONT and Tech. So who bright they know? Who bright? Marvin Gonzalez bright? That is why he's on the opposite side. Now, Trinidad and Tobago. Excuse me with the little cough. There's Sahara dust in the air, and it affects me sometimes. But nevertheless, I'm not the only citizen in Trinidad and Tobago that has been affected with it. But nevertheless, it may change my speech pattern at times. Marvin, the Sahara dust might change my speech pattern at times, you know. But I'm not a Duncy guy. I speak in 6 different languages. I believe you only speak in one English. Nevertheless, Alexander made reference to the Toys R Us drones that the previous government acquired. Well, listen to this.
The drones that they bought here was from Toys R Us. Mr. Speaker, if you want to know what is happening at this time at PTSC, you could send the drone. But if it is happening further than PTSC, you will have to send the drone, bring down the drone, put an X battery, send it again, collect it by car river, put it down, send it again, and then reach it. It's like a taxi. But yet, money after money after money spent.
So Marvin, you say Alexander couldn't. Somebody messaged you and had said, after every word is a full stop. So I wonder if they could message you now, Marvin, and ask, so where does extra 10 million went? And did you all really go to Toys R Us and buy drones? How you feel, Marvin? How you would feel, Marvin? You see, Trinidad and Tobago, I has always say this on my program. You see, when you have a little bit of power, you feel like you could trample on anybody. That's what it is feel. But Marvin failed to realize that he was appointed by somebody. It's sad to see Trinidad and Tobago. On a real note, it's sad to see ministers sitting in the parliament enjoying taxpayers' money, and they ranting and raving and condemning people of Trinidad and Tobago. Who put them there? The citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Who they condemning? The citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. So if you see them in an accident side in the road and you condemning me and I the only one person, you think I stopping to open a door for you? No, you will bleed to death right there. Why? Because of your condemnation. So it's sad. It's stinking sad to see ministers who were elected by the people of Trinidad and Tobago, those same ministers condemning the same citizens who put them there. I don't know why he didn't call Shamfa Dunce when she couldn't take off her data. Who pay for it? The citizens of Trinidad and Tobago had to pay for it. Tax dollars pay for it. Not Shamfa money, not Marvin money. And what about when former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said, well, meet money pavement and we go deal with it. What happened to Trinidad and Tobago after? We run amok. We run amok. But it's sad. It's sad to know ministers like them in office treating the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago who put them there like they value nothing. If it wasn't for the citizen, you wouldn't have reached where you are today. And in the coming days, I am definitely sure that people are going to call me and tell me about Marvin Gonzalez. And trust me, I will lay it out to you. I will lay it out to you. Whenever the Trinidad and Tobago, we are going for a short commercial break. When we come back, textbook list to remain unchanged for 2025 and 2026. More in this when we return.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk. Remember, viewers, Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit. Remember, you are not getting this offer at any other financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago. You're not even getting it up the Caribbean because we are the only one in Trinidad and Tobago to offer interest up front on our fixed deposit. That is just to tell you how stable we are. This is just to show you how stable we are. We are giving you your interest up front to enjoy it. You think any other financial institution could do that? No, they can't do that. Why? Because they will be wondering if and when and how. No. We had Real Talk. We had Real Talk, Trinidad and Tobago, with me being the head. I'm going to tell you something. It's a different story altogether. You ain't never done see man running Real Talk financing. Neither Real Talk credit union. You have a man with brains who've been in the industry for about 30 years. You have a man who's versed with accountants, C-level. I just want to let you know that. So if you're wondering that, oh, them giving interest up front, how they're doing it, I'm going to tell you something. It's not for you to wonder. It's for you to invest and get your interest up front and enjoy it. Instead of waiting 10 years and 15 years, collect it up front and enjoy going. You know how much people went on vacation and repair home and buy cars? Because they realize, but wait now, this is the best offer I have presently, but it's not going to be around for much longer. But nevertheless, principals have been instructed to maintain the current list of textbook for the upcoming academic year, as the Ministry of Education confirms there will be no changes to the approved list for 2025-2026. In a statement, the ministry advised both primary and secondary school heads to continue using the same textbook that were approved and in use during the previous academic year. Minister of Education, Dr. Michael Dowler, stated that this measure is to ensure consistency in teaching and learning resources across all schools. The ministry said its ongoing review is aimed at improving the quality and the relevance of education, the contents to better meet diverse needs of students. Imagine that at Trinidad and Tobago, they're making sure that you had used book 1 this year, and then use book 2 next year, and then book 3 next year. No, they're making sure that your education is consistency. They're making sure that you learn. They're making sure that you stay focused. I remember when, from primary school to secondary school, they're always changing books. You would use textbook 1 in Form 1. When you go up to Form 2, textbook 2. And what you think changes? It's just a few lines in a page. Just a few lines. Imagine that. This, there. They change this and put there. They put there and they put him. Imagine that, eh? But nevertheless, this ministry is making sure that that doesn't happen. So you don't have to go now every year and spend thousands of dollars in books because of one line change. And that one line in a book sometimes will cost you $800 for one book. And you have a book list about 20 or 40 different books you have to buy. Sometimes a book comes up to $3,000 to $4,000. Imagine that, eh? But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, this government, the Ministry of Education, is going to make sure it doesn't happen like that. You're going to be consistent in your learning. After 21,661 secondary school students were suspended in the period 2022 to 2025, the Ministry of Education is developing a school safety audit to identify red flags in institutions and implement interventions to deal with student indiscipline. This from Education Minister Michael Dowlett. Listen to this.
Between 2022 and 2025, secondary school suspensions rose by 87%, from 5,167 in 2022-23 to 9,676 in 2024-2025. These are not just numbers, Mr. Speaker. This is a signal of distress in our schools. However, Even as we take firm action to preserve order and safety, we are equally committed to safeguarding the right of education for every child.
Now, viewers, Daulat is a former principal. He knows about the education system. Whoever we had before, I didn't know where they come from and what they knew. Because they didn't serve much purpose. They didn't. But nevertheless, Mr. Daulat said the ministry is engaged in a comprehensive review of the program and policies concerning the behavior of students as well as Teaching Service Commission. Daulat.
Discipline does not start with punishment. It starts with presence, structure, and responsible leadership. After years of neglect, that's exactly what we are bringing back to the education system. We are reviewing the overall school code of conduct and discipline measures. And we are embedding social, emotional learning and anti-bullying education across all school levels. Because, Mr. Speaker, emotional intelligence must be taught as deliberately as mathematics.
So viewers, State and Education, the administration had requested $37 million for the payment of secondary school teachers' salary. Daulat.
At the secondary school level, there are 625 vacancies at the administrative level. 83 of the 125 principal positions are vacant. That's about 2/3 of our schools at the secondary level. 59 of 144 vice principal positions vacant. 264 of the 618 head of department vacant. 219 of the 574 dean's positions vacant. At the primary level, 222 of the 450 principal positions vacant. That's about 50%. 64 of the 110 vice principal positions vacant, 60%.
So, let me just tell you this. This is a new Minister of Education, and he is relating to us the amount of vacancies existing in the Ministry of Education presently. Now, did the former Minister of Education relate to us how much vacancies they had? They're quick to talk about P&M children. So my thing is now, if all these vacancies were there, did they care of if the P&M children had an education or not? This leads me to this. Because if this minister could now come in and there is thousands of vacancies, what was the previous administration doing for 9 years? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. Did they put education as a priority? You answer that for yourself. So viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, we go live every night, Monday to Friday, where we run the next day from 11 to 12:30 p.m. So until then, viewers, be safe and good night.